So I warned you this would happen. Unfortunately, I had to have this conversation with somebody here recently, a friend of mine, that just didn't listen to any of the warning signs that we've been talking about for the last several months. And now they're finding themselves in a situation where they are ultimately out of a job and have zero savings to fall back on and are scrambling, trying to figure out what they're going to do, how they're going to pay their bills, how they're going to feed their family, and where to go from here. Now, granted, a lot of folks think that our biggest concerns are going to be the diesel shortages and food shortages and shoot, even Walmart closing down stores. We got Walmart closing down stores in Pennsylvania or Pittsburgh, and you've got lines of people outside trying to they got half off, 50% off sales for this store closing, going out of business. And people are like, I think it's a little bit of a mixed bag of concern. Maybe there's so much concern that no one can really focus clearly on what is most important and what's their biggest possible single point of failure ahead of them, because there's so many to choose from. But we're seeing it. We're seeing it with the economy. We're seeing it with the jobs market. We're seeing it with inflation. We're seeing it with mortgages and the housing market. We're seeing it with the Fed and Jerome Powell. We're seeing it with the current presidential administration. We're seeing it with stocks. We're seeing it in crypto. People are trying to save whatever little bit of money they have. They're trying to, some are trying to reduce their budgets. Others are still spending frivolously and wasting a lot, and are maybe blind to the fact of what's really going on. They're misguided by social media and mainstream media and movie and TVs and celebrities, and they are not really focusing on the situation at hand. But with that being said, don't let it be one of you. Don't let it be you. I know you guys are out there working hard and preparing for these SHTF moments that are literally happening every single day. New one with the housing market and new mortgage underwriting with Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. It's gonna have a huge impact. But unfortunately, I had to tell this person that I warned you that this was going to happen. You knew that this was coming. And when I say that, it's like ultimately it was you being careless and throwing caution to the wind. And we never know what it's going to be. We don't know. Somebody actually said, Kevin, have you checked out Canadian Prepper lately? We have some serious concerns going on with the potential threats of conflict and war and other countries overseas. We still got what side are you on, Russia or Ukraine? Which it's crazy because that whole situation is provoking our government to continuously send our money and funding, supplies, resources, physical and human, to another country to help them. Meanwhile, here we are, great old US of A, struggling with concern, panic, fear, crisis, crazy high inflation, job cuts, layoffs. You got Elon Musk, new owner of Twitter, literally about to cut half the staff. The tech industry used to be a great industry, a safe industry. Not anymore. Those jobs are at risk. Income is at risk. Livelihoods are at risk. Now, granted, what do? You know me. I'm gonna tell you, go make more money. Go start a business. Go start a side hustle. Create a passive income stream. Make sure you have multiple sources of income. Make sure you're not just isolated to one single point of failure, so that if you lose your job or if you get laid off, you get fired, you get terminated, there's a restructuring, you work at an Amazon or a Walmart warehouse and they lay off 1,500 people, you don't have anything else to fall back on. Don't think unemployment insurance is the answer. Don't think a government bailout is coming. Don't think a stimulus check is where it's at, because that's not going to help you. It's not going to save you. I actually had somebody comment on a previous video about $300, or they actually misspoke. They said $200, but it was a $300 statement credit on a business credit card that we had opened up. And it's money. Money's money. Look, and that's the thing. People would say, Kevin, why don't you show us how to make this money? Well, I'm trying to, but I don't know if everybody's paying attention. And sometimes it's not even making money, it's saving money. Saving money is made money, basically. And I'm looking at it like, look, if I can make $1, if I know how to make $1, I can figure out how to make two. If I know how to make one turn into two, I can make two turn into four. You see what I'm saying? So if I'm given the opportunity to have 300 given to me, well, guess what? I can turn that 300 into six. So I don't have to start at the bottom. Now I can turn that 600 into 12. And I'm talking about not just a 2x on my return on investment. I'm talking about exponential gains of return on investment and wealth building that allows me the opportunity and ability to share this information with you guys from the standpoint of I don't work a 9 to 5. I don't have an employer. I don't have a job per se. And I don't really see any possible future scenario where that's going to be likely. Because one, I'm not going to be tied down. Two, I'm not going to limit my income by using my skills and my knowledge and my drive and my grind to make somebody else all the money that I could potentially be making myself. But that's just it. I'm not going to waste my talents in other ways that don't benefit me and my family to the nth degree. So that's where we are today. Buddy of mine, granted, I don't hold it against him. It's one of those things where it's like, I told you, I warned you, here we are now. Now he's got the kick in the pants and he's ready to go ahead and take action and make changes so that he can have a viable solution and opportunity and way to survive this. But unfortunately, we got to realize the truth. And the truth is that you are behind. You now have to take the time to build up that snowball, to see that snowball grow and grow and grow, instead of having been building it up months ago, years ago, in anticipation for what's happening today. And I'm seeing it happen literally right before my eyes every single day. I had a phone call with another colleague of mine yesterday talking about the real estate and the housing market and the future of just economics and business in general, and the push and direction that we're seeing that I was already focused on months ago. And I'm seeing it now. There are changes being made. There are economic shifts. This is a business evolution as these businesses, which we are aligning with, because I have said before, businesses are going to support businesses, and businesses are going to be the ones that are going to survive this recession, this deep, long recession, possible depression. Those are the ones who are going to survive. The average every single day employee are at great risk. The self-employed are at great risk. I'm talking about business owners, investors, the right-hand side of the cash flow quadrant. And we're seeing a strong push. Now, this push is heavy in online sales. And we've seen it with Walmart. We've seen it with Target. We've seen it with Amazon. We've seen it with Wayfair. We've seen it with Rakuten. We've seen it with so many different companies. And, I shared a video with you guys. I don't know if you saw it. You might want to go check it out. Walmart invested heavily in Flipkart. It's an online e-commerce Indian-based company that they invested heavily with Flipkart. This is a big deal. It's a game changer. While Walmart is continuously introducing and perfecting their automation processes to be a giant and a killer in retail and online sales, in food sales and productivity, while reducing the workforce and eliminating the workforce, bringing in more computers, more technology, more automation, more AI. And you think, you may be saying to yourself, well, that's all fine and good, but these guys can't stock the shelves. These guys can't, they can't fold clothes or whatever it may be. All right, you're absolutely right. But here's the deal. Here's what's going to happen. I'm going to tell you this right now. Here's what's going to happen. Those jobs will still exist. They will be cutthroat. There will be folks out there willing to cut each other's own throats to make minimum wage, to stock shelves and clean up trash and pull in carts from the parking lot and fold clothes, okay? Which then increases the competition, which makes it harder to keep your job. The point system will become more difficult, more people getting points and being fired and terminated, as any minor infraction will risk your job. While those positions will see no upward growth whatsoever within the company, because the company is only going to be focused on automation, AI, and technology, which brings them more money, which reduces their overhead costs, which reduce their expenses, which increases their profits from their from the revenues they receive, and ultimately increases their net income, driving up the valuation of the companies, and for the shareholders that are going to pour more money into the company, thus further creating a more of a retail giant as Walmart continuously pushes to try to take over Amazon, and as Amazon continuously tries to take over Walmart. And at the end of the day, what will happen is they're both going to win, but the average worker, the average employee, they're going to lose. And if you're not positioning yourself right now with business, if you're not positioning yourself right now with tech, if you're not positioning yourself right now to be a viable option to make businesses make more money, then you are ultimately probably going to suffer the consequences of not paying attention and ultimately being unprepared for what's coming, what's actually happening right before our eyes. And then you're going to be thinking like, all right, now what do I do? Well, guess just like my buddy, where it's kind of like behind the 8 ball now, and he's got to start building that snowball. I hate to say it, but there may come a time where it will be too late, because there's going to be too many squeaky wheels to get the grease. Like it's just not going to be a viable option. And now is the time to concentrate and focus on securing your wealth, if you have any. If not, we got to get you some. But securing your wealth, protecting it, hedging against inflation, which is here to stay and going to continuously rise. Like, I'm waiting to see what the next CPI numbers come out to be, but I expect them to be higher than economists hope, higher than the Fed hopes, and this is just going to further affect negatively the economy and interest rates and the average middle class, lower class income consumer, while retirees nearing retirement, older generation, seniors, elderly folks, your money's at risk, your savings is at risk, your investment, your portfolios, your 401ks, your retirement plans, your pensions are at risk. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? All right, now look, what I'm suggesting is that you just pay attention and don't just be a deer in headlights and just see this crisis coming at you and just freeze. You gotta have a plan. You gotta have a plan. You gotta have a strategy, and you gotta take action. Okay. And if you guys want to know more about this, you want to have any part of it, even if you want to know how to get the $10,000 up to $10,000, this is $500 to $10,000. You can get approved within 24 hours. If you want the money, there's a link. If you guys are interested in getting some lending, some loans to help you bridge the gap, that's fine. But at the end of the day, you got to repay it. Okay. So that's really only to get you out of an immediate bind. We need solutions and answers and strategies to protect the wealth you have. If you don't have wealth, we need to get it. And then for those who are trying to get it, we need to make sure you're getting more than inflation and high prices and expenses are eating away at it, especially if you're looking at protecting yourself and preparing for retirement, maybe even possibly preparing yourself to be in a situation to capitalize on some of these lower price real estate opportunities that are coming around the corner, maybe even getting into some other economic and financial personal finance growth opportunities through the automotive industry. As we're going to see car prices come down, we're going to see a lot of great opportunities out there. We're going to see some stock market and crypto investment opportunities. It's like, now is the time to prepare yourself, because we're about to see huge discounts, and you want to buy at the bottom and sell at the top. We're approaching that bottom, folks. You guys prepared, be ready. I want y'all to capitalize on this with us so we can all benefit and see the rewards of the work that we're putting in. Check out this video. Make sure you watch the playlist. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Turn on notifications. Comment down below. If you want to contact me, my info's in the description. Join the group. I'd love to have you guys. Talk to you soon. Take care. Bye.